Hey guys, Sophia here with Turquoise Toffee, and I'm back with another video. Today we're talking about the 2024 IFBB Pro League San Diego Pro Bikini results. A beautiful lineup, 5 gorgeous brunettes in the most beautiful shades of pink and red. So lovely. Let's get right to it. So in terms of Olympia, last year's top 3 are automatically qualified, and then the winner of every contest within the qualification period in the open divisions are also qualified for this year's Olympia. Very exciting, very high stress, no points or anything for 2nd through 5th. It is just the winner. So looking at the scorecard, in first place was Amy, 2nd Tara, 3rd Kimberly, 4th Alysa, and 5th Ariel. And looking a little closer, you can see it was only 1 point between 4th and 5th. So a close show, but otherwise fairly even on the scorecard. Okay, so let's begin with Ariel in 5th place. First of all, I love all of her colorings. I think her suit is beautiful, the lipstick, the eyeshadow, her jewelry, everything. That beautiful Hollywood wave in her hair. She's stunning. Her tan looks gorgeous. Her skin looks smooth and perfect. Like, she's really beautiful. I think she's doing a really nice job with the conditioning. I think she's got a beautiful line in her oblique, a nice amount of definition into the quad. Gorgeous detail here by her kneecap, and her delts also look amazing. So really nailing the shape with the amount of muscle she has. She's got really big shoulders, nice lats, and then that detail, the conditioning to show it off. I'm not so crazy about the posing in a couple different ways. Number one, I feel like she could play with the way she has her hand on her stomach. I would love to see a little bit more of the curve coming through in her back arm. I think we're losing her shape of her delt and the curves into the muscles of her biceps and triceps. So if she could maybe just twist her wrist a little bit, try to maintain a bit more of that curvy shape like what we're seeing in this delt. And then the other thing, I'm not crazy about the way she has her feet. Her back foot here is really pointing forward. Usually it's to the side. That's the more typical way. Perhaps there's something strategic why she's doing it in that manner, but I don't think it's that flattering to the shape of her leg. She just doesn't seem to have enough width at the base to really match the width of her upper body. So just a tiny little tweaking with the knee, with the foot, and I think it would show off the curve of her quad a bit better. It might even show a little bit more of her hamstring and just give her a little bit more of a smoother overall silhouette. But that's it. That's the only thing I can comment on. I think her physique looks amazing and her whole package is beautiful. Okay, in 4th place is Alysa. Oh my gosh, her waistline is tiny. It's definitely the first thing I notice. She has the smallest waist ever, but also extremely big, broad, beautiful delts. So she's got a lot of size in her upper body. You see that triangular shape in with the lats coming to this tiny little midsection. Very impressive. She's extremely sideways. Now, obviously, that does a great job of showing how small her waistline is, and it gives a nice view of her glutes, but I don't love the way that it's showing off her lower body. I think it's, again, kind of that more of a straight look into the legs. I'm not really getting the quad sweep. I think her back leg is not as flattered as it could be if she was up higher on her toe, a little bit more curve into the leg. To me, my eye is really coming into the upper body, and I'm not quite getting a balance with the lower. So I'd like to see a little bit of a, maybe less of a sideways view, just a bit more twist towards the front. You know, you're not even seeing the front of her suit, which is very unusual in terms of the posing. But I'd also like to see a bit more size in her lower body and maybe even a little more conditioning just to show off some of the lines, some of the detail around the quad, a little bit more lines in the back leg. I think, like I said, her upper body is stunning. She has amazing shoulders. The conditioning from her waistline up looks awesome. Great detail in her abs, the obliques, the delts. And I love the color of her suit with her lipstick, her smooth, sleek, shiny hair looks beautiful. So overall, she's extremely eye-catching. That tiny waist is so admirable, and I think she did a great job. But again, a tiny bit of a tweak in the posing just to flatter the lower body a little bit more and maybe just a little bit more size. Amazing. Okay, next in third place is Kimberly, and she also looks stunning in the red suit. Beautiful, long, dark hair. Gorgeous. She has a really fantastic amount of size to her glute, and I really like the detail coming through in her hip here. You've got a bit of an outline coming right underneath. Gorgeous, and great lines coming into her quad. I think she also has an amazingly small midsection, but I like that we can see a little bit more of it. She's not so sideways that we can't even see the flatness of her stomach. We get the oblique, we get a little bit of that midsection. It's perfect. Great posing here. I think she also could have a little bit more size in the legs, a bit more curve to the top of the quads here would be great. A bit more of that bubbly curviness to the back of the hamstring would be good too. But I do really find her glute to be very impressive. Great size, posing beautifully to show off that shape with her lower back, and a very long torso. So absolutely gorgeous. In this photo, I think her delts look amazing. She's doing a great job showing the back arm here. I think you see the curves in her arm muscles. You're seeing the roundness in the delt. And even the front delt, I think, looks really good too in this photo. Great round size. I'm not crazy about how far out the arm is going, and even the fact that the thumb is up. I would try just to try, rotating the elbow in and having the arm falling more flat. I think it would just be a little bit more of a natural, easygoing shape. It wouldn't pull your eye quite out so much to the side. I'm certainly looking over here by her hand rather than just keeping everything a little bit tighter in with her physique. The other thing, I thought she could have a darker tan. When you compare her to the other girls, she doesn't have as much of that rich brown color as the others. And last point, while, like I said, I think in this photo her shoulders look amazing, in the lineup photo compared to the other girls, she could definitely use more delt, more roundness, more height, more size, more width, more shoulders. So you'll see what I mean in the lineup photo, but overall I think she did a really fabulous job. Okay, next and second is Tara. So first of all, great tan, so she's a lot darker. You really see the definition popping. Beautiful suit color. I like that the suit and the lipstick and the eyeshadow, everything's coordinated beautifully. I also think she's posing really nicely. She's delicately up on her toe. Her foot is sideways, the knee is to the side. It gives you a really nice view of the quad. You see almost the entire back leg, so she's not hiding the back leg behind the front leg. I think she's got a nice amount of twist to her her midsection, so you're seeing some nice definition in the front of her stomach, crazy good obliques, and then you definitely see that V shape, that triangle to really showcase the width of the top and the narrowing in of the midsection. She's got a lot of size in her lat, in her delts, and I think she's posing really nicely with her hand and her arm to showcase that curve here and beautiful curves in the back arm as well. So just overall, she's got great size, nice posing, really good detail coming through in the legs. She's got a bit of detail by her kneecap. She's got the groove coming down, outlining the quad. She's standing very feminine, easy, natural. It looks like it's not difficult whatsoever, and she just looks pretty. I love the flip in her hair, like just everything. She looks stunning. I do notice, though, in this lineup, where everybody else seems to have the teeny tiniest little waistlines, Tara has a lot more size, into the rib cage, into her, where the lat is coming into the stomach. So she doesn't come across as being as teeny tiny in the midsection as the other girls. But I think she's got a beautiful hourglass shape and her posing is fantastic. Okay, now in first place is Amy. And right away when I pulled up her picture, the first thing I noticed was the midsection. So she's got a lot of size in her upper body. She's got the lat and the delt, that width coming in, but her midsection is not quite as much of that rib showing. It's very flat, very straight, very smooth. So I think that's a big advantage for Amy. Her midsection looks really tiny. And then she's got a lot of size in the lower body. Her glutes are very large. Her hamstrings have a lot of curve and bounce. She's got a lot of, not bounce, like curve and bubbliness, a lot of roundness. She's got a nice roundness to the top of her quads, very full, very, like just the skin looks so stretched over all these beautiful curves, and then great conditioning to show them off. You've got the groove in her hip, you've got lines in her legs, her calves have great definition, the obliques, a little tiny bit of six-pack, like just a little bit of lines in the stomach, nice curves and outlining of the delts without being too striated. She's just really nailing it. And I think the other thing that I really like that you'll find it pops and really stands out in the lineup is that gloss that she has. I definitely am drawn to her hip. I'm drawn to her oblique. I'm drawn to the tip of her shoulder, this part of her quad here. So she's got this gorgeous sheen. She's posing so beautifully, delicately on her foot to really show off the leg. Beautiful. The only thing I would do would be to take the hair off of the front just so that we can see more of the back delt. But otherwise, she nailed it. Okay, so here's everyone side by side. I think you'll agree Tara could have used a little bit more of that glossiness like what we see on Amy and Ariel, just to highlight the hip, the quad, a little bit of the shoulder, right? You see the gloss on some of the other athletes and it definitely draws your eye like a sparkle. So I think Tara could have had a bit more of that. Kimberly here, I think you see the delts could be a bit more pronounced, a bit larger, just posing to really try to make them pop and keep the round shape, but also a darker tan. I think she looks a lot lighter than some of the other girls. Ariel, beautiful, great size, great shape, but I do think that she could tweak that posing of the foot, particularly when you see everybody side by side. Even Alysa, I think, could be higher up on her toe. She could show us more of this back leg, show us more of her torso. But I think our top three did a really nice job with their angles, with their posing. Here's where I think Amy really shines with that small waist compared to Tara. But Tara's shoulders look unreal. She really has a beautiful width and amount of size in her upper body. But my gosh, look at Amy's glutes, right? Look at the shape, look at the curve, look at the height. Amazing. Now from behind, I'm actually really drawn to Tara. I think both Tara and Ariel do a really fantastic job of showing the hourglass shape. The width in the delts narrowing down to the smallness of the waist, and then that nice curve and fullness in the glutes. I think Tara has a really good balance between the width, the side-by-side size of the glutes, and the delts. Amy's glutes look not as large as Tara's beside her, even though they looked really quite large in that front pose. I think Amy has some fabulous curve to the inside of her legs. She's got great calves, and I like the detail that she's getting into her glute ham tie-ins. They're very sharp and defined, particularly on this inside edge, but not so much that it's like closing off. I think Tara is approaching having almost too much outline to the whole glute. She has to be very careful of that to just maintain some of that fullness and softness down into the bottom part of the glute. But overall, it's a really great lineup. I think everybody did a really good job. Beautiful glutes on everyone, nice shoulders. Tara stands out, Ariel stands out, Amy, her glutes stand out for sure, the tie-ins from behind. So everybody looks awesome. Alysa, beautiful amount of detail coming through the top of her glutes here. I think she could have a little, just bit more of the shoulders showing, maybe a little bit more detail into the hamstrings. Kimberly looks great, really nice roundness to the top of the glutes. But again, I think she could have a bit more width to the top just to really give you that hourglass shape. Okay, so there she is added to the list. Amy is headed to Olympia. And there are more shows coming up this weekend, and I've got one more recap from last weekend coming your way. So make sure you subscribe, give me a like if you like this video, comment your thoughts below, and come find me. I'm on Instagram at turquoise toffee.